What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 266 of Two Amazon Sellers and a Microphone, brought to you by Celozo, the premier advertising optimization
Premier, I like
platform
it. I
in
like
the
it.
market right now. Absolutely. You want to learn more? Hit up Chris and I, comment on the video, reach out to us. We'll tell you more about Celozo. But today, Chris, this will be fun. You and I are going to be talking about quite a few topics that are hot right now. Some new stuff with Amazon and some marketing, and the thing everybody's talking about right now, ChatGPT. You know, we've been kind of geeking out over that over the past few months or so, and it's unbelievable. Let's start with ChatGPT because I don't know about you. This was probably, when was it? Probably a month and a half ago or 2 months ago.
Yeah. How'd you, so the way I think that I think that's how we found it is I was watching a Gary V TikTok or not
Yeah.
TikTok. Sorry. That's another topic. Gary V Instagram reel.
Yeah.
And he's like, ChatGPT is going to change the way people write. I was like, what the hell is ChatGPT?
Yeah.
And so I signed up for it. I think I told you about it. And you're like, what is this thing? And then you ran off with it and started doing more stuff with it.
I'm texting you left and right. I'm like, dude, look at my input here and look what this wrote. I'm like, and I was like, write an Amazon title, bullet points, and description for, some random product, and it would spit out an unbelievable one.
Yeah.
And then my wheels kept turning. This is hot. It's all over the news. Everyone's talking about it. You got people freaking out about it in a negative way. You got people, super excited about it.
And I like to think like our audience definitely should know about ChatGPT. People are talking about it. If you don't know about it, just look it up. Google it. Chat. Before too long, Google might be out of business.
That's what I really am curious about that, because at first I'll go through like sort of my evolution of using it. So I was like, oh, this is amazing. Let's have it right. Of course, all I was thinking about was Amazon. Like, how can I, I would take, so like one of the first things I did is I took one of my listings and I just copied it and pasted it in there. And I'm like, can you rewrite this, in a more personal way? And of course it spit something out that was amazing. And then I was like, this is a little freaky. This is too good. But then I just started asking it questions. Like my son had a homework question and I was like, let's try this out, man. Let's do this with ChatGPT. This is so much better than Google. Google, you got to go through like 10 articles to find it. This actually like answered the question. And then you could follow up like, no, I want to do more. And then of course we went, my mind is like, oh my gosh, well, I need to start a blog immediately. Like, how can I monetize a blog where I get all this amazing content written super quick? And then it's like, how do you use it in your day-to-day life with like, answering somebody's email? It's like,
so there's so much here, like just case studies. I'll tell you one, and you're using it. It's always open on my computer.
Me too.
Like I always have ChatGPT open. Just like if I have a thought, I just write it in there and it gives me like a response, and then I could say rewrite it. So the other day, actually about a month ago, at the end of December, Amazon suspended 8 of my ASINs, 8 of them. And they removed the detail pages. Okay. And the reason they removed them is somebody claimed trademark on these 8 products. Okay. And the term the term is monster bully sticks. Okay. Monster bully sticks. Okay. So for those of you listening, now you kind of idea where I'm at.
Yeah.
But that is so generic, right? Mm-hmm. So generic. Like everybody calls them that. So anyways, I got suspended, or they pulled off those 8 ASINs. So I said, the hell with it. ChatGPT, write me an appeal letter telling Amazon support that the word monster has been removed from my description, title, bullet points, include the steps that we have taken and how to prevent it from happening. It spun up a detailed report that says, Dear Amazon, I'm writing to appeal the suspension of our seller ASINs. We have recently received notification that our ASINs have been suspended due to the word monster in the product titles and images. In response to this issue, we have taken the following steps. We've removed the image from the word monster. We have removed the keyword monster from the title, description, bullet points, and all the listings. We've reviewed the product listing to ensure that they are in compliance now. We provided training to all of our team members. Provided training. Okay, they put it in there. Provided training to all of our team members. We understand the word monster is in violation of Amazon's policy, and we communicate with our team to make sure that this does not happen again. To prevent this from happening, and just it gave me this list of just like, here's what we're going to do to prevent it. Yada 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 yada. Better than anything I could have written.
Oh,
Better than anything. And you'd probably pay like $400-$500, maybe $1,000 if you hired a service to write this.
but this is where I'm talking. This is what I'm talking about in every aspect. We can learn. Like, number one, I might have not even written that up. I might have been like, screw it, I'm going to scrap this. It's not worth it. I mean, I've had this exact same thing happen in the past where I'm like, I'm not selling enough of that product to deal with this hassle. But you're talking about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it wrote, and not only that, that's formatted like in the exact way that Amazon would like to see.
So it gets better. Amazon says, you need to acknowledge that you made a mistake. Like, you need to acknowledge you did it. So I wrote back in there, okay, now acknowledge that we made a mistake. And so it rewrote the whole thing and said, we have made a mistake, like, acknowledge we made a mistake. It's like everything I kept adding, and this thing is going on and on and on and on. And so I kept copying and pasting it. And to this day, all 8 have been reactivated. They all got reactivated. I didn't have to hire a service to do it. I just saw what Amazon wanted. I took it over to ChatGPT and said, write me a plan of action telling Amazon seller support that we made a mistake and we want these ASINs to be reinstated. I didn't give it any other input than that. Like, how in the hell do they know what Amazon seller support is?
I don't know. I mean, this is what I'm blown away. Like, because I don't know how. I mean, when I ask it to write an Amazon listing, like, I would just say, write an Amazon listing for whatever, a jump rope. And when it spits it out, it's formatting it. It's like, this is your title. This is your bullet points. It gives it the exact number of bullet points that you would need. I mean, it's a little crazy, but I mean, we've really been going after all kinds of ways. I mean, we're seeing people, and I've tested this out, like, how can it improve your advertising? How can it, do all kinds of things? We have another one. I saw a case study where someone was using it to aggregate reviews. So they would download from like Helium 10 or something, all the reviews, paste that into ChatGPT and just say, can you please summarize the positive and negative reviews? And it would, there could be 20,000 reviews and it's summarizing it immediately. So how is that for like product research when you're trying to look for, how can you do better than your competitors? I mean, download the reviews, put it in there, let it summarize it.
Something else I saw that you could do, and I got all these tabs open up. Here it is.
Anybody listening right now, Chris is sharing his screen. We'll try to walk you through what's going on.
So Neil Patel is a big marketer, and we had a chance to see him at Helium 10's event. But there's a website called answerthepublic.com. Okay. And so if you go to answerthepublic.com, you can type in like a phrase, like you can see I've done here dog treats, and I hit search. This is going to give me back. People are typing into Google, like what questions they're typing into Google. Okay. So I can come here and let this load. It's loading data, but it's going to give me like a pie chart of like all the common, highly searched, average search, and low search. So what I can do here, and I'm looking at in the middle, and I'm looking on like the darker orange, which dog treats are safe. Okay, so now I got a topic. I got which dog treats are safe. So I go over here to ChatGPT, write me a blog about which dog treats are safe. Okay, now watch this. It's going to start dog treats are a great way. Starts writing it out. And all I did was give it the prompt of write me a blog about which dog treats are safe.
Yeah.
So it's giving me this here. What I like to do is like, I think a lot like, it's kind of like selling on Amazon. Like you just do the bare minimum, but if you keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, it gets better and better and better. Or like people selling products, they do a couple images and that's it. But if you add more images and a video, it gets better. So like when this gets done, I'll probably put in here like, okay, now make it a casual tone or
Right.
make it a friendly tone, and it'll rewrite the same thing it just did in a better tone. I can keep down to that, make it shorter, make it 20 characters. But you can see it. I'm not even doing anything. It's doing the whole thing for me right here.
It's insane. I mean, and I can't wait because there is a tiny limitation. Like the data set this is operating off of ended at like 2021 or something like that. They say it in their documentation, but they're getting ready to open that up to probably live new data, and the capabilities are just going to explode with what you can do. I mean, anybody, like, how many times have we're writing a listing and we're like, we want to maximize our characters in the bullet points or whatever. I took all of my listings, put them into ChatGPT, and was like, can you make each bullet point 250 characters? Rewrite it in the same tone, make them all 250 characters, or make sure it includes this list of keywords that I downloaded that I may have missed, and rewrite it. I mean, you're talking about boom, 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 things where people are paying. I don't know about you. I've paid $1,000 for a listing to be optimized.
Yeah.
I mean,
I paid like 1,000 just to get some ASINs back. Like back in the day, I thought, I would have to go to some consultant and pay them their fee just to get these ASINs reactivated. And it took me a month to get
yeah,
8 of them back. Like that's pretty powerful. Pretty powerful
it's
stuff.
it's beyond
Now
powerful.
there's another one out there called DALL-E, and
Mm-hmm.
it's for images. And this is another one I've used, and this is
Oh yeah.
another good one I like. What do you got going on there? Have you used that one yet?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the same OpenAI, same company that put out Dolly. Um, you know, it's interesting. So my wife and my son are both very artistic. So they're artists. So of course they're like freaking out because there's like all the things that you do. They're freaking out in a bad way. They're like, this is killing artists. Um, but for unique images, or for images that you're, hey, make this look like a Van Gogh, or make this, do an image of a happy family, with their dog and dog treats. So which you've tested
I've
around.
done, yeah.
I think there's more prompting that I need to learn to get it right. Because some of the images look a little screwy. I mean, some of them, it's complete AI. So you'll see a dog with like, some part of its face might be messed up or something in the
Yeah.
image. Sometimes they are perfect. And that's just going to get better and better. And this will be really fascinating to see what you can do. I haven't played around much with like uploading an image and having it edit an existing image. But I think there's a lot that you can do with that. Like, hey, can you take this product and put it, on a kitchen table with a family around? But I haven't experimented. Have you done anything like that where you're uploading images?
No, I've never uploaded anything. I've always just given it prompts. I just gave it one now. It said a girl using a yoga ball in a living room on a sunny day. I mean, look at that.
I mean, it is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty good. These are some of my other ones I used. Like this is a pit bull chewing on a small bone in a dog bed. Like it's kind of like fake looking, but some of these they give you 4 results, and some of these are legit. Like you could probably get away with it and use it. Look at that one. This one's a golden doodle chewing on a small bone in a dog bed. Like that's all I get. That's all I typed in. And
Yeah,
so it spit back 4 results of a golden doodle chewing on a dog bone in a dog bed. And I could probably use all 4 of these.
it's freaky. But think about it, like main images for a blog post, or social media images, or images for your product.
Mm-hmm.
A+ content. There is so much that you can do. It's mind blowing. So anybody listening, you got to, if you haven't seen these or heard of these or checked them out, just start playing around with it. I mean, the most fun I've had is, I play guitar. My son plays guitar. I had it like, write me a song about a lonely road or whatever. And when it spits it out, it is like verse 1, verse 2. It
Right.
rhymes, and it hits on nuances like emotion and like, I mean, it's crazy. I even then said, "Can you pick a good chord progression, a guitar chord progression for this song?" And it's like verse 1, G, C, D, A minor. I mean, some of it was pretty standard, but then it was like bridge, and it would change. I mean,
That's
it was like,
crazy.
yeah, this will be a more country feel. If you like a more rock feel, you know, go check out this chord progression. It was crazy, but yeah, check out ChatGPT
And
or
then do the other one too, the
yeah, Dolly.
Dolly for photos.
Absolutely.
And AI's here. Like
Oh yeah.
better start liking it because it's
Yeah,
gonna
you
get
can
here.
freak out about it. You can think the robots are about to take over, but it's here. I think Pandora's box has been opened, so you might as well embrace it and try to use it because there's a lot of really interesting stuff that you can do. All right, next up, Chris, I'm
Next
gonna let you
topic.
take the lead on this because this might be a little bit new to me as well. But auction-based Amazon FBA storage. What's this all about?
Yeah. So this is a thing happening March 1st, and our pal and our buddy over at my Amazon guy, Stephen Pope, just made a video about this on YouTube. But it's basically auction based FBA storage uh, moving forward starting March 1st. So think about like PPC, but for logistics is the way to really get your head wrapped around it. There's still lots of questions. Like there's still a lot of lag in it in the back end. It's called Capacity Manager. So if you go to your Amazon account and search for Capacity Manager, you'll see it in there. Um, there's a really good article out with our friend over at SoStock, Chelsea Cohen. She wrote a recent article about this. So head on over to SoStock to see this article, or just join our newsletter. It's a good one. But basically, it's an auction-based system that goes into effect March 1st, and it's going to replace weekly stock limits with quarterly storage volume limits with a single monthly capacity limit for each storage type. It's going to be a lot. Like I think some brands are going to have like a logistics person designed just for Amazon, just to keep up with it. And I see some tools coming out from this. I bet we see some software tools that are going to like automate this and help sellers understand where the logistics are at. Um, but it's Amazon again. Like they want the best selling products in their storage because they sell the most and turn the most. They don't want anybody just throwing thousands of units in there that don't sell. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah, and I mean you could see like the sort of precursor to this. I mean everyone's had that pop up, continuously pop up like every time you go to your manage inventory where they're talking about they're going to automatically remove inventory. That's been there. There's certain criteria like if it's been there 365 days and there's been a certain percentage of sales that are lower than their metric in the last whatever 90 days, they're going to auto remove it unless you opt out. If you opt out, you're probably going to get hit with some seriously high storage fees. But you can tell what they're trying to do. I mean, they're trying to clean house. They're trying, like you said, make sure that the inventory's there. Anybody I feel like that's been, managing at a consistent, 45, 60-day inventory level in Amazon, you're going to be fine, which is probably the right way to do it. But I also feel like, they have their 3PL service now that they've launched. So I think a lot of this is maybe trying to push people if they're wanting to use a 3PL to their system as well, so that they can automatically manage this capacity manager for them,
yeah,
and obviously make more money. But
it really comes into play like when you start to bump up against your limit. Like
yeah, yeah,
if you need to get more capacity, there's going to be a bidding for it. I think you have like up to your 20% of your initial limit. So just keep an eye on it. It's something to probably have more information on. I would bet in like a couple months we have more data and how this actually works and all that good stuff. So it's probably gonna be a topic that we talk about. But Yeah, it's just something you got to deal with. Like
Oh,
a
yeah.
logistics, you gotta have to make sure you put that into account when you do your sourcing and when you do your ordering for your supplier. Like maybe have to split up shipments now. Like instead of doing 1,000 units, maybe just do 750 and get the rest over, or have them hold it, or find a 3PL out there that can store it for you, or just store them in your house. But you're gonna have to. It's going to be something that we're going to have to definitely monitor. The days of just throwing stuff in FBA
Yeah.
probably over with.
Yeah. And man, it's painful for me, the amount of people that I talk to, especially new sellers, that make a huge first order, ship everything into FBA, things aren't going well, and they're just getting killed.
Yep.
They don't, what do you do? Do you jack up your PPC to try to move everything as fast as you can and lose that way? Do you have them destroy it and lose that way? Do you ship it back, lose that way? I mean, I think there's a lot that, whew, you really want to make sure that that product works before you start loading up a ton of inventory.
Yep.
And
So keep an eye on that. Go to your Amazon account in South Central. Just look around at the top for the news. You'll see Capacity Manager if they make some kind of update. But um, definitely something to just keep an eye out. It's going to happen. So
all right, next up, custom products no longer eligible for returns.
yeah, I feel like this should have happened like years ago.
you know, I don't know. I'm assuming that if you sell custom products, this is probably uh, nice. And now you'll have to give me more insights onto this. I know you've done some research on this, but um, I'm assuming it's. I mean, if it's a custom product, it's most likely FBM fulfilled
Yeah,
by the merchant. I'm wondering if the merchant could still accept a return, have it shipped
I'm
back to them.
sure. I'm sure there's a workaround, but
But for anybody selling these, I mean, this had to be. Can you imagine if you're? I mean, if the return rate on your product is high and it's custom, Amazon's just because that was how
automatically
they
letting
were.
people do
That's
it.
how they started, and they were very customer centric, and they were just accepting returns for any reason. Whew, this is
And I feel
probably
like if you order a custom product, like
yeah.
that returns probably are not going to happen, but there's probably still people that do it.
Oh
It just
yeah.
feels like this should have happened a long time ago, just for those people that do handmade category custom products. Like, no, I can't imagine the amount of returns they probably were getting. This is probably really good. I bet in the Etsy world,
Oh
people are talking like, "Hey, Amazon's trying to be a little bit more accommodating for us handmade products." I bet that helps grow that category a little bit.
yeah.
But it says like, so if you order like an ornament for Christmas with the custom name on it, you're going to want to make sure. And this goes on the seller side too. Like the seller should probably send like some sort of proof, like, hey, this is what it's going to look like before we do the final production of this, before they actually make it, so that it does reduce the return.
Hmm.
Um, so just or a necklace or something, or custom bracelets or whatever it is. But I think this is good. I think this is a good step, and hopefully this does like grow that handmade
Sure.
market. I mean, Etsy kills it. You could find good stuff on Etsy to sell on Amazon, but I
Hmm.
think I think Etsy has that market as far as like custom made dialed in. They know it.
Oh yeah. And this is probably Amazon's attempt to say, hey, let's be a little bit more fair to the sellers here. I mean,
It's
it,
good.
yeah. What are they going to do with my Dustin Kane coffee mug? I mean,
One of one.
yeah. I mean, it's not like they can restock that uh, unless they get super lucky. There's not a whole lot of Dustin Kanes out there that are shopping around, but
But custom could be good. Like you can make some good money on that. I was talking to a guy that sells the wood mantles, like the old antique looking
oh yeah.
like solid wood mantles. He sells those, and he makes them when they order like a size, and then he can put like a date on or whatever. But he's probably thrilled now. He doesn't have to worry about like a $500 mantle being returned.
Right.
Like it's custom made for that customer.
Exactly. Yeah. No, this is a good step in the right direction. All right, moving on. Next topic. Uh, seems like TikTok ads are really working for Amazon sellers right now.
Yeah, have you tried any TikTok?
Mm-mm.
Me either. Me either. And I don't know if it's a good time to get into it or not. Like I don't even have a TikTok app. I don't even know what the hell's going on over there. That shows how old I am. But I just don't do it. I've done the whole Facebook ad to Amazon and just saw better return on Amazon, like just doing sponsored product ads. Um, but apparently a lot of big brands or smaller brands actually are using TikTok ads as a way to generate more sales and better organic ranking on Amazon. And it makes sense. Like
Sure. That's where
that's where
people
the
are.
market's at. Yeah, that's where people are at.
Yeah. And
Um,
I mean, and we've talked about other off Amazon traffic sources. I mean, like how about driving traffic from Google? We had Amped on, great service for using the brand referral bonus
yeah.
to get that back, and people were finding a lot of cheap clicks on keywords on Google. Makes sense. I mean, if you're a small seller in a competitive niche, you've got a good product, but PPC is very expensive. You got to get creative. You got to find other ways to do this. So what? So you're pulling
Yeah.
up right now the creator marketplace on TikTok. For anybody just listening, you can't see.
Yeah.
What's
So you can go to creatormarketplace.tiktok.com. You can sign up for an account there, and it's basically where you can run TikTok ads. You can do this yourself and get videos, or you can get an influencer. What I would probably do is like get an influencer to shoot a video and then just get that raw footage and make that the ad,
mm-hmm.
instead of me having to create the whole thing. But yeah, so I haven't done it yet, but apparently you can come over here and you can sign in here and make a TikTok ad. There is a guy that I follow in the space. His company is called Rankster.co. Paul Harvey is his name. You can look him up on LinkedIn, but he did a lot of stuff back in the day when remember chatbots like
Oh yeah.
face chatbot, like mini chat, like grown like so he was one of the first to do that with mini chat and like chatbots through Facebook Messenger. But he's got a company Rankster.co where he'll run, I guess, the Facebook or your TikTok ads. I haven't done it, but this is probably one of the other guys out there. And you mentioned Paul Barron, a buddy over. Paul Barron is a good guy too. Trying to see what's his company name.
Influx
Uh,
Catalyst.
yeah, I was gonna say what was it again? The Influx Catalyst.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great
Influx.
as well. And we ought to try to get we've had Paul Barron
There it
on
is.
talking with us, and we should probably try to get Paul Harvey on as well to give us a little more insights into what's going on with this TikTok advertising.
Yeah, these guys. I would definitely trust both these guys.
Oh yeah.
They they like get into it and make it really unique. I'm sure influencer marketing. So yeah, TikTok ads are coming up. Like people are doing it now. There is a little bit of fear out there, right? Like
Oh yeah.
what happens when the U.S. bans TikTok?
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket for sure, but you know, there's certainly fear out there. It's on every time you watch the news, they're talking about some government banning TikTok or some discovery of how they're spying. But
Your
I mean,
kids have TikTok?
no,
Yeah.
no, my kids don't. I have it, I just don't use it. So I'm like that. If they are spying, I'm the guy that's like not even getting a benefit of it, and they're reading all my data on my phone. Uh, but you know, I mean, if you listen to the Gary V side of this, it's like you're crazy not to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that their algorithm works, and compared to like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or anything else, the reach is like exponentially bigger. So
It's just something I don't want to do. Like I don't want to do social media. I don't want to I probably should
right,
hire it out, but like I'm just taking all the cash and just throwing it back into Amazon
right.
because it works.
Hmm.
Like I don't want to throw thousands of dollars on. I'm probably missing the boat somewhere, but just I don't want to be
It's
making TikToks.
I know that's my problem, but it's out there and it's working, and we're hearing stories all the time of it working. So it could be something good for your business if you're listening. But All right, we got
All
a
right, this next one. Yeah, this next
got.
one's pretty good. So, I don't know if you remember back in like 2021.
Oh, I remember.
Uh, well, yeah, God,
Yeah. So
for more reasons than you want to, I'm sure.
yeah. So a lot of these Chinese sellers are back. That's so a little backstory on this is my first product I was selling is pretty commoditized in the fitness space. Did really well, but then I just got killed by uh, competition from Chinese suppliers who are just started selling direct, and then they immediately have like 30,000 reviews, and they're pricing their product half of what I can price it for. But then I think you're right about 2021. It was a pretty big story then. I mean, Amazon basically kicked off the platform. I mean, it was a pretty big group of Chinese sellers, but they were in total they were doing billions in revenue on Amazon. So it's huge when they get kicked off. So funny story about this is, I was about to give up on my product at that point. I was just liquidating inventory, and my main competitor got kicked off. He was a part of that group of Chinese sellers that got kicked off, and immediately my sales went back up. It's still too competitive, but I mean that had a bit that these kind of decisions that Amazon make have big impacts on sellers. So it seems like after these big mass suspensions, a couple years ago, they're trickling back in.
Yeah. Well, Amazon was suspending them, and all this cash was being held up. So they weren't able to get their funds because they were doing some black hat stuff, which I still think they probably are doing. Uh, but now they're coming back. People are
Yep.
seeing more competition. Just part of the game.
Yeah.
I would probably entertain Walmart. Um, I know we didn't have this on the sheet here, but Walmart is something that I think is growing pretty good. I would I would get on that train now because I think if you get a product selling, you can get the reviews now, like, and it's just gonna stick. Like, it just feels really early
Mm-hmm.
for Walmart, and I don't know if a lot of Chinese sellers are on Walmart yet. I haven't looked into that, but it could be an avenue, like, to get some revenue. So
Absolutely. I mean, they're
could be
up in
something
their
to look
game.
at.
It's still a hot mess over there at Walmart, but they have a huge client base, customer base, and it's just another platform where you can get on and start making sales. So,
And you just got to make your product like different now. Like, you
mhm.
can't just sell the Me Too stuff. You got to outsmart them.
Yep,
Get some masterminds. Just part of the deal.
yeah, it's a business and it's competitive. So hopefully, it's pushing everybody in the direction of making their products better. Patented, whatever it takes to really take over a niche on Amazon. All right, we got one more topic here.
This is a good one.
I'll let you take and start this one. A little bit about our good friend over there at Advanced, John Shellerud. What you seeing?
Yeah, Joe's a good dude. So Joe Schvellerud, for those of you who don't know, he's a CEO over at a company called Ad Advance. They do a bunch of like management for PPC, big brand stuff, DSP. But the guy was a seller, super smart,
Mm-hmm.
started an agency, and he's just growing like crazy. And so he made a post about a week ago talking about sponsored ad placements on LinkedIn. And he's a good LinkedIn follow. So if you have LinkedIn, look him up. He's a good LinkedIn follow for just Amazon data. But
Mm-hmm.
the post he made, I'll share my screen here, Dustin, so you can kind of see, and we can kind of talk about what we're looking at here. But the post he made breaks down the placements of like better conversion, click through rates, how things are performing, like based off their cost per clicks. Make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. But it's pretty good data here. So for those of you listening, let me click on that again. For those of you listening, Dustin and I are looking at a chart that Joe made talking about sponsored product, top of search, sponsored product, rest of search, sponsored product, product page, video top of search, rest of search video, display product page, audience targeting, and just really good, like obvious data, I think we would say, but to validate it. So the one I like is like the click through rate on sponsored product, top of search. Top of search is pretty much dominating all this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it has a click-through rate of 4.3%. And this is data that he's gained through Q4, looking at probably more of his clients' data.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I thought this was unique. Like this just really good. Like when people ask, where should I spend my money or when should I run ads on? The first sponsored product are going to be like the best ones here. It looks like, you just got better A costs. I don't know. What do you think on this?
Oh, so I mean, I probably had this conversation with sellers 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, for those listening, I'll try to break this down. Okay, if you're talking about sponsor product, your just talk about conversion rates. If you get top of search, your conversion rate's 22.6% with an average ACoS of 27%. Okay, you go sponsor product like rest of search, the conversion rate drops from 22 to 13%.
Yeah, big
And,
time, 10%.
yeah, it's huge. I mean, yeah, it's it's a lot. So when you think about this logically about the impact is, I mean, if your cost per click is or your bid is $1 and that's not getting you top of search, okay, your conversion rate at 13%, I mean, that means that you're going to be spending like $9 to acquire a sale, on that. But you take that up to top of search, maybe your bid increases just a little bit, $1.25 or so, and your conversion rate now is almost 25% on that. Even though you're bidding higher, you're dropping your customer acquisition cost from $9 to $5. Think about what that has on to do with your ACoS. And this is where I think a lot of people get tricked up here is they may have an ACoS that they don't like, but maybe the way to solve it is actually to bid higher or to
Yeah,
add a top of search multiplier onto it, because the data is clear on the conversion rate. And I
yeah.
mean, and it goes for everything else too. If it's talking about, your product page ranking, everything else.
Well, the
Um,
one that kind of like surprises me on this one is the sponsor brand video. The conversion rate on it is like almost the lowest,
uh-huh.
which normally when you think of that, you think, man, video ads convert like crazy because it's a video ad. But according to this, and according to Joe and his data, and I trust Joe and what he's done over there at Ad Advance, the conversion rate on a video ad is 10% compared to like a rest of search ad for
Yeah.
sponsored product is 13, and product pages right there with it. So maybe, I know it's good to have a video, but like, does video even matter? Like it has one of the lowest click-through rates. The cost per click, just eyeballing this real quick, is kind of average. The A cost looks a little bit higher. It is almost the highest. And the ROAS on it is one of the smallest. So
Yeah.
like it's kind of unique, right?
Sure, and I think this data is important, and you can try to analyze this data on your own account to see what's going on. Obviously, different products are going to have different numbers. This is an aggregated total
Right.
here, but it does show you. It's like, in terms of just like budget allocation, are you putting your budget where it best serves you?
Yeah.
If you're looking at something like this, I would skew most of my budget towards, top of search on high performing keywords. You know, if videos kind of work for you, maybe you're allocating less budget than you normally would think. I mean, there's so much in here. It's really interesting to see this aggregated data and see what's going on. Because you're right about the sponsored brand video ads. Remember when they came out? When they first came out, it was like the cost per clicks were so cheap, so
Yeah.
much cheaper than sponsored product. The conversion rates were really high. I mean, it was like something has shifted in the consumer mindset. Maybe they're seeing so many videos or what, but the fact that the click-through rate is so low is kind of shocking to me.
Yeah. I mean, if I've got a budget to spend and I'm a brand and I want to focus my budget on ads, top of search is where I'm at. And
Hmm.
I may even skip sponsored brand and look at some sponsored display if I've got traffic just
Mhm.
based off of this conversion rate. Sponsored display has got a 21% conversion rate on product page, 24% on audience targeting. These are probably like, probably lower numbers. Obviously, I'm assuming more of his brands are doing sponsored brand and sponsored product, but
Mhm.
uh, sponsored display looks like an opportunity. I don't think a lot of people use that. I think a lot of people just focus on sponsored product and sponsored brand. But sponsored display could be something to just experiment with, just to see if you get a 4 ROAS or almost 6 ROAS on your ads. But yes, shockingly, video doesn't really have a good conversion rate. It's lower, and this just says like, okay, maybe the video sucked, or
Right.
maybe the video is just not very catchy. Let's try something else because it doesn't work. Or who knows what the placement or what they're bidding on, keyword
Mhm.
type. I just thought that was a little bit low of a conversion rate compared to what we've seen in our own accounts and what we see on clients' accounts. Like this 10%, I was expecting higher.
Yeah, but it's fascinating. I love seeing data points like that. We see similar data points like that when we aggregate, data from our clients as well. But fascinating. Well, Chris, we covered a lot there. It's a lot of
Yeah,
good
quick
scribble.
little 40-minute podcast.
Yeah,
Knock it out real quick.
yeah. But look, if you haven't done Chat GPT and you're listening to this or watching this, go check it out.
Yeah.
It'll blow your mind. It's amazing. And then let us know all the different use cases that you come up with for using it, because it seems unlimited. But all right, everybody, that's it for today. We'll be back at this again. We'll do more of these hot take on current topics type episodes moving forward, as well as the great guests that we get. And if you're currently selling right now and you're struggling with ads or it's taking up too much time of your day managing your ads, we'd love to talk to you about Solozo. It's an amazing platform for automating your strategy on PPC. Get everything done: daily bid adjustments, negative keywords, keyword harvesting, everything that you would want to be doing, day parting. It's all in there. Full financial reports as well. We can show you. Just head over to Solozo.com and schedule a demo, and we can walk you through the platform. But all right, that's it for today, and we will see everybody on the next episode.